The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers for Thursday, December 12th. Tease that Thomas will have a big proposition for Hope. As BB viewers know, Hope is currently considering returning to Forrester Creations and revitalizing Hope for the Future, which is their fashion line. Unfortunately, the line has really taken a backseat since Hope hasn't been working much lately. But Thomas wants that all to change, and for Hope to resurrect the line with him as lead designer. But it looks like before Hope can give an answer about that, Thomas will have another idea for her to consider. According to BB spoilers, he'll talk with Hope again and suggest that she not only reinstate the Hope for the Future fashion line, but that she engage in a fashion competition. He'll have this big idea for the two of them to team up and compete against Steffi and her design team. As BB viewers may know, Steffi has been working on her own line, and it looks like the fashion competition will ultimately be a go, with Steffi and Sally teaming up against Hope and Thomas. It should be an interesting situation, and it will definitely bring Thomas and Hope together, which is exactly what Thomas wants. Meanwhile, on Thursday's new episode of BB, Shauna will have a stunning admission for Ridge. Ridge will be feeling heartbroken after his conversation with Brooke. As BB viewers know, Ridge went to Brooke and begged her to forgive Thomas so that they could avoid a divorce and get their marriage back on track. But Brooke flatly refused to forgive Thomas, and she even countered by saying that Ridge needed to basically adopt her viewpoint on Thomas in order for their marriage to survive. Of course, that's something that Ridge just isn't going to do, as he's never going to turn his back on his son. Just as Brooke would never turn her back on one of her children. Well, whether it will happen on or off screen, BB spoilers indicate that Ridge and Brooke will indeed sign the divorce papers, ending their marriage. And it looks like that will be heavily on Ridge's mind as he returns to the Forrester mansion and encounters Shauna. There, Shauna will offer him emotional support as he recounts what happened with Brooke. And so what about this stunning admission that Shauna will make? Given that Shauna has already told Ridge that she loves him, she likely has something else to admit to Ridge. Perhaps she'll let Ridge know that deep down she's glad about his breakup with Brooke. Not because he's suffering, but because it means that there's a chance for the two of them to get together. At any rate, it looks like Shauna will once again be there for Ridge as he faces devastation. Bold and the Beautiful fans know that Thomas is never going to get better without help, but his sister and his father seem to have no idea how to help him. Do they help him like they want to? Or do they help him in a manner that is a bit more obvious? They think that they are getting onto him by telling him that they did the wrong thing for Douglas, and they are sure he knows how upset they are. But, in reality, he is doing what he wants and their displeasure doesn't matter at all to him. He's using his son, again, to see if he can get what he wants from Hope, and we all know how that will work out for him. He cannot get it together, and he will never been able to if no one is there to do right by him. We cannot stand back and continue to watch this train wreck unfold. Sally has called Wyatt by a different name when they were being intimate, and he had to call things out to her. He had to make a decision about their future, and it was a moment we were all terrified to watch. However, no one is making bigger life changes than Ridge and Brooke, who have their divorce papers ready to go. They seem to think that they can work it out. Well, they are discussing it, but we don't see that happening. They had every single opportunity. And Ridge has been kissing another woman on the regular. So that might not mean he's as invested in working things out as he might think that he is. But, we can see that some things might become a bit more difficult for him as time goes on. He's a mess. We get that. But he will never change. Steffi is on a roll this month. She's letting everyone in her life know that she is not happy with them. She spent some time last week letting Hope know that her actions were completely wrong and inappropriate. And now she is making sure that her brother knows the same thing. She also wants her brother to stay away from Hope. Nothing about this is sitting well with her. And they will begin a week in the middle of an argument about all of this. There is very little that they cannot handle on their own. But there is more that they will struggle with as the world goes on. There is not that much we can do right now. But we can see things taking a turn for the worse as they continue to argue about everything. Meanwhile, Brooke has some stipulations for Ridge after he asked her if there was even a small chance that they could fix their marriage. She believes there is a chance. But it's going to require a lot of work on Ridge's part. Brooke is a lot of negotiations. And she's decided that Ridge has to change his entire life to keep her. She doesn't seem to be willing to make any changes to or in her own life. But she's certainly going out of the way to get him to do that for her. After he has a chance to hear her out, will he do anything she asks him to do to make this work? Or will he move on and leave her in the past? Wyatt is making excuses not to get a ring for Sally. Sally is not. Wyatt rather be with the worst person than Sally. Sally wants to marry Wyatt, but she's not an idiot and probably realizes she deserves better than how Wyatt treated her before. Chubby lover. I just find it weird that Liam is even asking questions about a ring when Hope's not wearing one either. I know self-awareness isn't a thing with Liam, but wow. Should I take that to mean that he doesn't actively plan on marrying Hope again or? And it is super weird that Wyatt hadn't gotten a ring for a woman whom he's asked to marry him. Dead weird. Soaps burn. Soaps burn makes a good observation. Liam hasn't proposed to Hope either, let alone gotten her a ring. Wyatt's reluctance to get a ring for Sally should have sparked a conversation about when Liam would marry Hope again. One would think that Bill would be equally concerned about Liam marrying Hope and taking care of the Spencer children. In fact, one would think Bill would be more interested in his own wedding to Katie than to either of his sons' relationships. All three Spencer men claim to be ready to settle down. But why have none of them married the women in their lives? What do you think was behind Wyatt's insecurity about Sally's feelings for Liam? Should Sally make it work with Wyatt, even if it kills her? Or should she not bother with a man who tried to make her feel guilty for wondering why he hasn't gotten her a ring? Why Liam won't put a ring on it? We suspect why Wyatt won't buy Sally a ring. But what is the holdup with Liam and Hope? Hope and Liam's reluctance to plan another wedding could stem from the writer's eagerness to explore Thomas and Hope's imminent relationship even deeper. The idea that Hope and Thomas could be a thing horrifies me. But the writers seem to be intent upon striking romantic triangle gold with Liam, Hope, and Thomas.